Hey, so on the last video I tried having all the questions down here after I hated that. So I've gone back to what I used to do, which is grouping the questions together. So to me, there are kind of two main types of question. One, you substitute in a number, and one you're working back. That's the two big questions. So let's work through that. So functions, you're going to get a question like this. F of x is equal to, and then we've got our function. And when we say f, evaluate f to the negative 3, what we're saying is we want you to substitute in that number instead of x. So if I was to write that in, I would say f of negative 3. Instead of x, I am going to write negative 3. So I've just put in negative 3 in place of x. So the hard bit here is to remember that this is negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. So this bit here gives me 9. 9 times negative 3 is going to give me negative 27. Negative 27, take away 2, is negative 29. A wee quick rule for that, actually, if you're doing powers, if it's an odd number and you've got a negative, this is going to end up a negative, so all the positive powers would be, sorry, all the even numbers would be positive, all the odds would be negative. So that's what we're doing, just substituting in. Nothing particularly tricky with this. It's a nice little question. It's usually a first round question. It's one of the first ones that we get to settle you in the exam. So yeah, nothing that's trying to trip you up. Same again. We've got f to the negative 2. So just take your time. 5 to the negative 2 cubed. Okay, so negative 2 cubed is going to be negative 8. So I've got 5 times negative 8, which is negative 40. Mistake people make is they forget the BOD mass. We do brackets, we do order, we do multiply and divide, add, subtract, and we work our way down. So order is the power. We do this, then we multiply the 5. Some people would do 5 times negative 2, then cube it. That's wrong. Some people forget about the negatives as well. They think the sum is more like 2 cubed. With a negative, it's always going to be negative. That's not true. Okay, so if you put it on your calculator, if you were to stick in negative 2 cubed, stick in negative 2 cubed, your calculator will give you negative 8 because your calculator will do this. It will do the order and then it will do the sign. So just remember, negative 2 cubed is negative 8. Okay. Sorry, that was actually your calculator would say. Sorry, your calculator would give you a positive. Is it? Sorry, no, it will give you a your calculator will give you a negative. So that works when it's like negative, 4 squared. Your calculator would do 4 squared is 16, then make it negative. Obviously, we know negative 4 squared is going to be 16. Negative 4 times negative 4, positive 16. So I've probably confused you more now than probably coming away going, what's he talking about? Point is, be careful with your negatives. Let's see if I can shimmy this over. So we're doing substituting in, so slightly bigger equation this time. F of negative 5 is negative 5 squared plus 3 times negative 5. Notice my use of the brackets as well. This is quite helpful. It just helps me not make a wee mistake. And we end up 10. And our very last one, and I shimmy along. I don't know why I can't shimmy along. So evaluate, that's fine, I can evaluate. So 7 take away 4. And here we go, they're trying to give us some double negatives, aren't they? So it's going to be 7 plus 8. That's going to be 15 for the first one. And the second one saying, given that f of t is 9, find t. Now this is a crossover. This is the next type of question. What that's saying is, if I substitute in t, I get 9 out. So if I was to say, okay, well, if I get 9 out, 9 is what f of t is, and I'm going to substitute in t in place of x. That's what that means. F of t is 9, so my answer is 9 when I put t in. Okay, so I've put t in place of x. Then all we're doing is rearranging. Let's take away 7 from both sides. Now divide by negative 4 equal to t, so t is equal to negative 1 half. So that's a working back the way question. So this should be marks in the bag. Don't get stressed out about the parlance, about the nomenclature. I have whatever word that is, but the language around the maths. Given f of x is this, evaluate. All it means is put this number in place of x. and just watch out for your negatives. The only way you can make it tricky is like what we just did, where you're working back the way. So if f of a is 73, calculate a. Okay, well if f of a is 73, that means that 73 has to be equal to 5 plus 4a. I'm substituting a into the function. So I'll take away 5 from both sides, so that's 68 is equal to 4a, and then I'll just divide both sides by 4. Do a little chimney sum, don't be shy. There we go, and that'll be 7, so a is equal to 17. Okay, don't be scared to do a little bit of working on the side. In the heat of the exam, very easy to make a little mistake, so that's fine. Same again, f of a, so they love a, don't they? So if we say f of a is 23, well, I know my output is 23. I'm saying the output is 23 when I put a in place of x. Take away 2 from both sides, divide by 3, so a is equal to 7. And I hope you're realizing this is such a great topic, because we have spent 5 minutes on it, and that is us done the two main questions. This is a nice little banker, right? The only one that could be quite tricky, I'm not even asked to sub any equations into each other, which was a big part of the Zeta textbook. But anyway, here's two functions. Find values for x for which these functions equal each other. This is a great question. And don't lose marks for thinking, oh, I don't know how to do this. Do what it's telling you. F of x equals g of x. Okay. How would I solve that? Get it all to one side. X squared, take away 3x, or take away 5x from both sides. Take away 3 from both sides, so that's negative 4 equals 0. Then we're back to our fun friend factorise. Add to give you this number, multiply to give you that number. I'll draw my brackets in. X is positive. Got numbers adds to negative 3 but multiply to negative 4. My factors of 4 are going to be 1 and 4, 2 and 2. I'm thinking it's going to be this because the difference is 3. So let's see, if I say x is negative 4 times it by positive 1, yep, I'm going to get that. But then if I add them together, I get that. Fantastic. And if you want, write the bracket out, and that will be the same answer as before. So my final answer then means that x take away 4 has to equal 0, or x plus 1 has to equal 0. Then x is equal to 4, and x is equal to negative 1. So that one was actually more of a factorizing question dressed up as a function question. So not really a function question, I wouldn't say. These are your main function questions. Substitute a number in, get comfortable with your negatives. Working backwards. Don't put 73 into the function. That's the big mistake. So look, I hope that was helpful. That is the block 4 work done. For now, I'll add some videos later on.